Stitchy friends, this is Barb with Lost in Floss. It's November 30th, 2025 on a snowy Sunday in Wisconsin. Beautiful outside, everything's pristine white and clean. So far, it's holding in the 30s, so it was pleasant to snow blow both yesterday mid-afternoon when I went out and this morning. So it's just, I love it because it just adds to the feeling of Christmas. So today's video is primarily about cross stitch, but I have some pictures from Country Sampler that I want to share. An epic finish, yay for me. And some save from the trash that I'm excited to show, as well as some, I have another my quilted item back from the quilter, and yeah, so I have enough to show you, but it probably won't be that long a video. I'm kind of about ready to run out the door. I'm going to see Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat with some friends and my daughter this afternoon. So I have to be aware of time. And I'll save some chit chat for the end if I have time. But otherwise, I'm going to show you what I've been working on. But first, I'm going to show you my save from the trash item because I just can't wait to use this. This was like something from the bicentennial, and it's so bizarre. I think it's a bourbon bottle. But look at, like, can you see the vision? I have projects baking on my lap that are going to fall off. But I'm going to paste something over here and get rid of this thing. And I can't wait. Like, with the eagle and the stars, I cannot wait to use this. So I'm going to start looking for something that will fit in that spot, and I definitely will go to town on that. I haven't been working on a ton of different things because of needing to get my son-in-law's stocking done. So I have a number of whips, but not too crazy. One that I worked on was Harvest Moon by Annie Bees. Love this one. I've mentioned before. I have it in my beautiful fall bag that I created. And that's what I want to tell you. For sure, watch my next video because I will show fully decorated Christmas, and also I will be giving away a project bag in Teresa Kogut fabric. So you're not going to want to miss out on a chance to get that. So I worked more on this. I put the shutters in. But, you know, a little bit of progress is better than no progress. And then we have, I just love this one, how it all works together. Pennsylvania Christmas Deer by Shakespeare Peddler. I gave myself some homework last time, and it was to finish the quilt star and the inside, and I got that done. So I think for next time, let's see what would make sense. Let's go to the top. Let's do these two motifs there. These two. So it seems like I kind of like that, having a little bit of direction. I don't even know what this one is. Did I work on this? I don't know how this got. Oh, I think I might have. I think I did. This is Stacy Nash Primitives, the Oak Leaf Manor Pin Keep. And I'm using my halo because I felt like one of my videos wasn't bright enough. And I got a little bit more done. I think it might go this way though. Not really sure. I think it's this way. So next time I haul it out, I'll add another leaf. Hopefully by next fall, I'll get it done. And then the other thing I worked on was my 2025 Prairie Schooler Santa. And I think I did his other, finished his hand and the snowball. But he's looking good. And now that I'm done with, well, let's not bring it up yet. Well, let's bring it up. Oh, wait, I have one more, and then we'll bring it up. So this is another one of my pieces, special pieces. Gathering the Green Sampler, Stacey Nash Primitives. And I got a few more of the alphabet in since last time. And I also continued the border all around. So steady and slow. I will give this some love now in the next couple weeks. But let's bring up the stocking, shall we? If you're new to my channel, I don't know when I started this, maybe 2 years ago. It's a Dimensions Gold. It's a pattern that's kind of hard to find unless you want to pay big bucks for it. Rooftop Santa stocking. It's a Dimensions Gold. And I have mine done. I keep changing it a little bit, but if I do anything else, I'm going to add a couple more French knots in this area. But thank you to all. Oopsie. Thanks to all who helped me make a decision on the letter color. I'm so glad I pulled it out and started over. And whoever suggested the blue with a little sparkle, I think that really ties into all the blue that's on the roof. Because I think that was part of the problem. I was getting too much the same. So it's kind of hard to tell how this is going to look because there's so much space that's going to get chopped out. But I added the beading. This top part, they just had the name floating. And so I like them when they're within two borders. So, and that's how the other ones were. So that's what I did. And we have detail on Santa. I think I need a little top stitching here. We'll do that tonight. But I got the beading on the reindeers and added the cording. And I am just so thrilled that this is finally done because I feel like now I can have fun with stitching again. I mean, it just seemed like homework. Next I'm going to jump into, because this is so quick, I got my autumn leaf quilt back. My friend Donna, her sister Vicky, quilted it for me, and I couldn't love it more. So she does a phenomenal job. It's kind of hard to show, but and I hope to get the binding on next. But isn't that pretty? I mean, it's not perfect. Well, her stuff is perfect. My stuff is not. But I couldn't love it more. All right, now, let's see. So, I always call her Leanne's quilty friend. But, Leanne's friend Anne has become a friend of mine. And every year we do a shopping day, like after well, I guess, did we go before Thanksgiving? I guess we did. Just to commemorate, how much we both miss Leanne. And it's always, we have a great time and a lot of common interests, and it's just fun to catch up with her. And I love talking to her about quilting because I feel like, I'm missing out so much in that journey, not having Leanne with me. But anyways, we went to Country Sampler, so I'll maybe put pictures here of that. And also JJ Stitches, which is a wonderful quilt shop in Sun Prairie. I thought I was leaving there relatively inexpensively, and then I was talked into this chart. They had a sample done. It wasn't done, I think it was done in red and white, but the store owner, I think she's the owner, said they had one done in these fabrics, and so I decided to go for it. And I probably will not make this until next year, but I think this is within my scope. Love it. Then they had things like this nice little trim for pillows, and I got a piece of wool for snowflakes, and and green too. And then also a few little prints, and I'm not sure if I'll use them for backing on pillows or if perhaps I'll make some project bags out of them. This is just a nothing print. And this one, I love the stripes. And this is a nice Christmas print. So that's what I got there. And Country Sampler, I mean, I have been there in, let me think, in spring sometime. So it wasn't like I needed a ton of things, but I couldn't pass up this crow's feet stitching, maybe Thompson's Christmas 1878. They had this one done, and it was so pretty. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to be with me. So I'm kind of running out of space to put pillows, but... And then this is the other one, Lord Dear by Serenita de Campagna. I probably murdered that, but they had him done too. And with those stripes in the background, he just made me laugh. I did not get any kits. I felt like I have enough kits already that I need to finish up, or at least start some of them. And, like, everything's going up in price, so I want to be able to make sure that I finish things. Oh, this I bought for the stocking backing. And Dames of the Needle, some mini pom-pom and moss. And this, is it like, I don't, oh, it's a cornucopia. I was, with cobwebs. Oh no, it's not a cornucopia. Oh, this is like an optical illusion. I saw it originally as a witch's hat, but like then I'm thinking, is it a cornucopia? Like with the spider webs in it? Because the birds go this way. Well, I guess the hats go that way too. I don't know. It can be whatever you think it can be. And then I just could not let this one go. A fat quarter of vintage metal rue and 40 count. This is my all-time favorite fabric. I love that color. And another little fat quarter. I like to have those kind of prints on hand. So that's that. As far as anything else, things have been busy. I've been decorating for Christmas. Pretty much done with the inside. Now I just have to do the final clean up and organize all my tubs in the basement so they're not in a way for a month. But spent some time. I think before I recorded last, I was going to do some baking with the Czech CZECH nationality organization in the Milwaukee area. They participate in the folk fair. And so my two sisters and I went, and they call them the Strudel sisters because they worked on the strudel. And there's a lot of jobs I think that people hate. And another one was cookie decorating the gingerbread, and the woman in charge had asked me if I would do it, and I'm like, as long as my skills are acceptable, I'm happy to do it. I guess last year they made someone's granddaughter do it who she didn't want to do it, but nobody else would. And so, like, it's awful if you don't know what you're doing and then you're forced to do something like that. Anyways, they were very happy with how my cookies turned out, but I spent, most of the day. I worked on strudels at the end, but, like your wrists kind of get sore after a while. So I told them next year, I'd be happy to do them at home. I probably could make a bigger quantity and even do them a little bit better. So that was fun. And then like a couple days later, one of those sisters and then my sister-in-law and my daughter, we baked cookies for the troops, military. They get care packages sent to them. And so 2 years ago we had done it, and it was a fun day. This time we tried to simplify. So we each made one kind of cookie, but multiple batches of the same thing, versus like last time, I think we each brought 2 different kinds. But by the time we came with our dough, mostly ready to go. And by the time you bake them and let them cool and then package them according to their specifications, it did take enough time. So it was nice to do that. My granddaughter and we had gone to see the first Wicked movie, so I told her I'd take her to see the second one. So she was off the day before Thanksgiving, so we got tickets to go to the 3D one, and that was really good. And then after it was done, I said to her, well, I'll give you 3 options. 1, you can go home. 2, we can go out to eat for dinner somewhere. Or 3, you can come back to my house and help me put up my Christmas village, and then we'll go out to eat. Well, she was nice enough to pick the 3rd option. So it was so much help. I had already brought all the boxes for the village up. So it was a matter of, testing out the lights and covering the boards and whatever. And I think she really had fun. And she told my daughter about how she sprinkled snow over the top. And yeah, it was great having her. And so then we went out for a sandwich afterwards, and she must have thanked me like 4 or 5 different times how much fun she said. And I said, well, if you like, we can make this a tradition. And her eyes lit up. So that was funny. I'm like, yes, you get help. And last year I had a kindergartner helping me, a 4Ker. So this was, to have a 7th grader, it was probably a step up, although having either, any bit of help is wonderful. So did that. Thanksgiving was awesome. My sister had it at her house. It was a small group this year. I think there were 11 adults and 5 kids. So, probably not a small group for many of you. But I just laughed because my sister just, she has to have this and she has to have that. She said she wasn't going to make appetizers or many, and then you get there and she's got, a table full of stuff. And I counted the side she had, and everybody brings something, but still, it was kind of crazy because she had, I think it was 18 or 19 sides. And I'm like, holy moly, it's like homemade cranberry sauce and the jellied kind and this kind of rolls and that kind of rolls and cornbread and green bean casserole and a couple salads and veggies and fruit and stuffing and potatoes. Corn for the kids, and sauerkraut for my Czech nationality. I could keep going. There were other things as well, but yeah, so that was great. And it was fun because then my brother and a couple of his kids and my niece's boyfriend came over for dessert later on. And so I got a chance to talk to some of the kids that I don't get to see that often. And then, just trying to get a few things done around here. And I'm nearly there. Did some online shopping as well as some little bit of in-store shopping. So I'm getting closer to being, ready, and I love that because then I can just enjoy the spur of the moment things that pop up. This week I'm having some friends over for lunch later in the week, and then next week having my high school friends for lunch. We're going to have a couple neighborhood couples that we've been getting together with for more years than I care to admit over in the evening closer to Christmas. We're trying to plan like a little, just somewhere very close we can drive, like a 2-day getaway where we can just, maybe go out for a nice dinner or, do a little local shopping, that sort of thing. We've kind of moved to doing that instead of exchanging Christmas gifts between my husband and I. So that works out pretty well. But, it's nice just to leave it be flexible. Yeah. I might plan something, more elaborate for next year. But for this year, we'll just, kind of keep it simple. So that's about all I have for you. So I hope you, for those of you that are new, I hope you subscribe. If you like my channel, I didn't even know there were things that people get hype points. And I'm like, oh, wow, imagine that. So I've read up a little bit on it, and I'm like, oh, well, it'd be nice to get hyped. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to maybe go clear the sidewalk off a little bit more. I'm sorry I wore the shirt that I wore 2 days ago, but I was going to get more dressed up for the play, but I came in from snow blowing and I was cold and a little bit wet, and I'm like, no, I'm going comfy today, so that'll work out just fine. But I hope you're all doing well, and please continue to fill the world with love, and please watch my next video, which will be 141, because
142,
I should have
141.
Oh, I went and ordered 4 frames. I have 3 of my Prairie Schooler yearly special edition Santas done, and a 4th one started. So I finally ordered those frames. Every year I think, oh, I'll wait. And then I'm like, no, just do it. And I haven't gotten either of my Mary Mary or this Happy Morning back. So I really will want to show you guys those before Christmas, as well as my decorations. I switched things up a little bit this year. Oh, and then, so when I was with Anne, when we went to Primitive Gatherings, Country Sampler, we were talking about nativity sets, and she said that she and her husband have her husband's family's Hummel one, and that's the one that my mom had, and I always really wanted it. But when things were getting divided up at my parents' house, my brother expressed interest in one of my sisters, and they proposed like sharing it. And the more I thought about it, it's like, oh, that seemed like, too much of a responsibility. So I didn't opt in. But then after Anna and I were talking, I'm like, I've really kind of been looking for a nativity set for years, but I think I've mentioned before, I didn't want one where Jesus looked like he was a 3-year-old toddler. And, you know, there were a couple that I really liked the pieces, except for the oversized Jesus. So, after Anna and I were shopping, then I started looking on eBay, and I'm like, well, maybe there's a set that, you know, someone's getting rid of, whatever. Well, they were all very expensive. Like, for instance, a set that wasn't perfect. So one of the 3 kings was decapitated, but he had his head reattached, and Joseph was missing a finger, and I don't know, something else. So I think it was like $600. So I'm like, no. So when we were baking the cookies for the troops, I was just talking about the set, and then I just said, whatever happened to, you know, Mom and Dad's set? And my sister-in-law's like, I think we have it in our attic. And she said, we've never taken it out because they had gotten a Fontanini set for their wedding because they got married right after Christmas. And my sister had made herself a set in ceramics. And really, you know, like I always thought I'd find one traveling, and then my other thought was I was going to stitch one, but I hadn't come across like the chart that I wanted to do yet. So anyways, my sister-in-law's like, well, I'll get it out and you can take it. And I was just like, oh, like, I was so touched that she gave it to me. But then I was so decorated, and I'm like, I have to put this someplace safe because, you know, I have the responsibility of having it, and I don't want to be the one that, you know, damaged it. And so I have a bookcase that's lower, and for this year I cleared out what I had in there and put them in there. But I showed my brother a picture, and he's like, the 3 kings are there already. And I'm like, yeah, so is Jesus. He was premature. So we were chuckling about that. But I'm like, you know, they have to be crowded together. But next year I'll try to find a safer spot that, you know, they'll be more on display. But boy, that was a tangent, wasn't it? I was nearly done. I said goodbye, and then I got into that. So anyways, I already said I hope you're doing well and continue to fill the world in love. So I guess it's just time to say toodles. Bye. Sorry, I already took the phone off the tripod. But I wanted to also mention that I'm going to be redoing my video for the finishing of the stocking. I've gotten so many nice comments from people on my tutorial, and but there was one step that I must have edited out when I had issues because the tripod was slipping, whatever. So I'm hoping to do that tomorrow morning, and then I will also be pushing that video live. So if you're looking for a way to finish a cross-stitch stocking, please take a look. And I'm going to leave the original live. I'll just maybe put a note in it that there will be a new video with all the steps, so that people won't be confused. So anyways, that's it. And now I'm going to leave. Bye-bye.